Oh, hello there.
Welcome back, everybody. Cool. So, hey, we have almost everyone. Alex had to go. He flew all day to join us this evening, which is incredible. Thank you, Alex. Mwah. We have two episodes that we can kind of talk about real quick because we had our first Pathfinder combat last week,
Yeah.
which was different.
I had like a ton of fun.
It's interesting stuff. There's like a lot more nuance to it as opposed to like I walk up and I hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know how you all felt. Sort of the shift in systems.
You're making me think back 7 days, so
You're welcome.
that's hard.
I would definitely say, as
Yeah.
the monk, and I've read about getting meta about like how the monk could be difficult because it's kind of like you have to piece it together. Now experiencing that, I agree. People are it is a consensus for a reason because I found myself like, okay, I have to do this, then this, and then this goes off to then finally complete this. If you f something
More like
up,
combo based?
yeah, it's a lot
Yeah.
of using that.
You're like a
and-
blue magic player now.
Oh my goodness.
Who's got to like think a
Combo.
lot.
I like it though. I really do like it, and I do like the fact that versus how we are used to in 5th edition, that I could do. I did the whole trip, 3-attack trip, which was really good, which is like an athletic attack, and it was really nice to do like all of that expansive things versus in other games we played.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. Like I for some reason can't even like think what level 4 looks like in D&D, but like I feel like I didn't have as many spells as I'm used to having, which was like a little not off-putting because like I still could do everything I need to do with the amount that I had, but I was kind of like I don't entirely know. Like I feel like I have less options than I'm used to, which I'm sure will change as levels get higher, but I also just might not be used to playing low-level characters because usually we play like, like level 8, level 10, something like that.
Magic is like definitely nerfed though in
Yeah.
Pathfinder. So
Yeah.
I feel like with D&D, like when you're a caster, you get that superhero feeling a lot faster and it's more satisfying than somebody who's like just like a straight martial class.
I feel like the martial classes are more fun in Pathfinder.
That is definitely,
I agree.
There's a martial class that allows you to cut a hole in reality and pull an enemy to you, attack them, and then put them back.
I want that.
Which is simply the coolest thing that I can think of. Where you're just like, shoot, you come here, punch them, get out. That's
amazing.
Wild, so fucking cool.
Yeah,
I don't know what class it is, so if somebody knows, I can hit your boy up.
I want to play a gunslinger so badly. That class is so fucking cool. And like, yeah, it does rely on crits, but it's like, you can do so many cool things. You can like shoot spells with your guns. It's fine. Have we played D&D 3.5e? Has anyone? I have not. I don't
I've
know if
never
anyone
played
else has.
3.5.
I have not done 3.5.
I played it once.
Did it feel Pathfinder-y to you?
Yes, I think it really harked back. So that was the first time I've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, and it was 3.5. And I had a ton of fun. And
God,
like,
you're old.
No,
Jesus.
I'm seasoned. But yeah, it brought me back to that, and I do really enjoy the kind of flashback, the member berries I'm getting.
I will say, like one thing that was definitely different was and I think we all kind of experienced this, was the like, while still learning Foundry and kind of struggling with getting that to like run super smoothly, like, do I roll regular dice? Do I roll these dice? And like kind of keeping track of the math and whatnot. It's a little bit tedious, which is like not ideal, but also, we're like learning the things. So
we're getting there.
Yeah.
Plus, like, I definitely need to update my Foundry character with the one I made in Path Builder. It's just like so much easier to like character level up in Path
Builder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had Katie try it earlier today, and she's like, "This is difficult." I was like, "All right, cool. Just do it in Path Builder, and then like send me the code, and we'll like re-import." Just makes most sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been living in Path Builder.
Champion agrees.
Yeah.
Champion
It's like,
says
yeah,
fuck
Path Builder's great.
I mean, it's my favorite.
There's dope.
I feel like, honestly, I was thinking about it this episode. It hasn't felt that different to me than playing in D&D, especially because we haven't been doing like a lot. But even things like, like I use Mage Hand, or like I use Illusory Object. Like, not that Illusory Object exists in that exact verbiage in D&D, but nothing has felt crazy. Like, oh man, like I can really tell we're in a different system now.
I think that will change somewhat as I become more familiar with Pathfinder, and I'm able to like better use the differences in the mechanics to make things difficult for you guys.
That makes sense.
Which I'm going to try to do in the upcoming combats that you guys are going to have at some point in the near future.
Well, there's also just like random like, oh, you want to do this in the world while exploring? There's a rule for that. And we just haven't necessarily looked it up.
Yeah.
Which is like part of it.
Yeah, I almost feel like we've been doing like Pathfinder Light.
Yes. They're like these like recall knowledge and all of the, I mean, because I think all of you have like exploration abilities and stuff, and it's just like,
it's like all I am.
True.
How does recall knowledge work? Is that an action?
In combat it is. I don't. Well, I think.
Wait, here it is. Hold on. I can say recall. Jeez, I can talk. Recall knowledge. Oh, you have to say what it's in. So like recall knowledge, society, recall knowledge, nature, occultism, arcana. Okay. So it's sort of like doing like a history check, but it's broken down into multiple different. Okay, cool. That makes sense.
It's a little more specific.
Yeah, I think I would use, like, for instance, when I was trying to figure out the terrain or this information with the holiness in the dark, like trying to use my knowledge and my recall knowledge would be in lore of religion. And I will
that
say,
makes sense.
Yeah, I recall knowledge of this.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah. Everything else has felt pretty similar. I don't know if other people feel differently, but
I think I broke it a couple times without meaning to. I didn't fully understand that spells cost more than one action.
Well, that's why when you did 3 spells, and I was like, what the fuck?
And I like did not.
I was here for it.
I was
like, I want to know what your build is, because I want that build.
No, my build was being a damn dirty cheater. That was my build.
I was like, that's a lot of spell slots.
I'm unfamiliar with that class. It sounds cool though.
just a lie.
It's a
make it up. The best thing about that class feature is I always roll d20s. Always.
Crazy.
Nat 20s on everything. I'm not even doing it. It's just like the dice just know
happens.
to do it. That's it. So that was a little bit of a pitfall that I didn't quite understand, because those little symbols are actions, and I had no idea. So tips. Sorry. Patrick just broke the game. But no, I think it's really fun having 3 actions to sort of work with, because I do feel like moving around is an option that you don't really feel like you get when you're playing like combat in Dungeons and Dragons, especially as like a spellcaster, which is what I usually always play, is just like you stand and deliver. But now I feel like Patrick could like fly around and like get into some shit. So I'm excited. I'm excited for more actions, because it's weirdly less anxiety inducing than like the one option in Dungeons and Dragons, because you're like, it's gonna take 15 minutes to get to me. What am I gonna do? And then you do the one thing and it's like, okay, it's gonna take 15 minutes to get to me again. Whereas like I'm plotting like, okay, but if I do this, then I could do that. And what if it's like this? Like I was really thinking more character-y in combat. I don't know if anybody else felt that way.
No,
like 100%. It really just like, okay, what would Patchwork do? Like, I don't know. It was just more tools to play with meant better, like RP in like my psychology was different, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I just realized that I actually only got to do one thing in combat because I was upstairs in the room. So I feel like I didn't even get to fully experience what combat is like. But I did feel that, Rachel, when I like went out and did my magic missile, or tried to do my shenanigans and got shot down, and then did my magic missile.
Shot down, you held to the rules,
It
young
felt
lady.
very like I was worried that Pathfinder was not gonna lend itself to RP, and I feel like it actually does more so than combat in D&D.
For sure. I mean, like the whole way that I even like approach Corna's turns is like, what is around Corna right now? What can he interact with? Because like I'm just like a small little kobold, right? Like
just a little guy.
Like I can attack and stuff, but like, can I really? Like, I use my words and I like manipulate people that way, and then I like look at my surroundings, and I try to like, work the environment in my favor based on my abilities to see random obtuse things.
Yeah, the investigator class is so cool.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna like start expanding it into stuff where it's like I can start just doing more party effective things where I can like look for weaknesses, and if like I can tell everybody like what it's like weak to, then that could like help our entire strategy. And like it's like way more than like almost every single D&D character I've ever played would interact with the other party members directly, other than like some homebrewed mechanical stuff that Omar came up with for his last campaign. It's always been like, well, what am I doing to the battle, not like what are we doing, kind of a thing.
Yeah, and I also feel like because of status effects, like I was thinking, I mean, when I was like trying to get downstairs and doing shit, like I have things that I can do that would take a whole turn, but would ultimately make it easier for y'all. So there is like that really like you got to work as a party more so than like how can I be the hero? Yeah, that's what it is that like D&D it's like I am a hero. I'm the hero. Like I can do these really cool moments. And Pathfinder feels more like how are we going to help each other to do the really cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of party centric versus character centric in that sense.
Yeah. Also, I think what Zero said in chat about being able to sort of specialize your character's path, honestly, I feel like there are more options in Pathfinder. Like it feels like it's more customizable than, not that D&D isn't, like obviously there's like subclasses and there's like different sort of things you can do with subclasses, but there's just so many options to like the type of build you're gonna make for Pathfinder.
You want to know what's like on the other side of the coin? So I normally 100% you would have saw Pathfinder that way, which is like it would have opened up more RP, but for some reason playing Alistair in the battle, it's opened up a weird like Sherlock Holmes things in me, and I was like, how do I perfectly attack? How do I affect the battlefield the most? And it brings out the RP in Alistair in that moment. And usually I reverse and do it the other way. I use the RP builds the character I'm building, but like the abilities. But the abilities totally building how Alistair acts, and I think it's so much fun.
That's cool.
Doing it backwards in Pathfinder because there's so many attackers. The combo base of the monk is just like opening up RP possibilities for me. And it's making me so giddy. I can't wait to fight again.
Well, hopefully next week. Also, Colonel Vaughn chat said, what did Neener do this week, and did you run into any more hot mommies? And I gotta say, Neener really helped in that plane crash.
Yeah. And actually,
Neener and Corny.
Kobold, Neener.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, Neener was co-piloting.
Also, don't badgers eat snakes?
Oh my god.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, true. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Neener ate all the snakes on the plane.
And there were
All of them.
a few Gorgons.
There's more than one snake on the plane.
Hey, we can't railroad Pat this much. Maybe Neener ate all the snakes.
Maybe.
I was And I was just gonna add that there were a bunch of hot Gorgon moms on the
Yeah.
plane as well.
Oh yeah,
for
there were
sure, yeah.
there was like the Real Housewives.
Yeah, it's like a muscle mommy convention or something.
Yeah,
On
I
the
mean,
on the plane.
On the plane.
it's like
Hey,
part of the
you know?
part of why the snakes are there, like all the Gorgons.
Yeah. The Gorgons are transporting the snakes. Okay, we can't pigeonhole
We can't.
Pat.
Yeah,
Pat
no.
Needs to have space.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta let
some
it
creative and artistic freedom.
breathe. Yeah.
That was I think I'm gonna start doing that to other DMs in the future. Be like, hey, this is gonna be a one shot. This travel bit, somebody else is gonna deal with it, and we're just gonna skip over it, and who knows what happens.
Nice.
The next Samuel L. Jackson movie, Hot Housewives on a Plane.
Yo, for sure.
God.
Too many
So what else you got,
hot
Ben?
housewives on the motherfucking plane.
Yes.
Maybe the housewives are the snakes. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh,
Stop it.
well, so this today's episode was sort of interesting because I am repurposing an existing module for our next couple of sessions, and so getting you guys into it was sort of like how am I going to finagle this, and then figuring out how I'm going to chop it down from being like a somewhat long thing to like 2 sessions worth of content is going to be interesting. But excuse me, getting you guys there was sort of my mission for today. It was just like, let's see what shenanigans happen along the way. I wanted to make sure that you guys like got some new weapons because you're gonna need them.
Oh yeah, we got prezzies.
Yeah, you got some good.
I found so much cool shit on the plane, by the way. Like,
Oh my
did
god,
you?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Pat, way
gonna
to
be a
spoil my players.
part. It's gonna be a problem for Ben in like the future after we do this, where it's like, oh no, I got this like god killing axe on the plane.
Pat said I could have it.
Cole Drake said a module about how to heist a hot van and how to keep it off the most wanted list.
Well, it is now. That's my only note. My only like real note from the session is like, you guys have now stolen an insanely over-engineered armored car.
It's awesome. That's your only note for
I
the whole
was gonna pay for it.
I mean, I have.
I
other
was
notes,
ready.
but I was gonna do it.
I just want to make it through the rest of this campaign without ever spending any gold and just accumulating more wealth. For my children, generational wealth, okay? It's altruistic.
sure.
Yeah. Well, we also we created the Franks family.
And fucking what's her name? The neighbor. Gilda, yes.
Yeah.
And then I killed her.
He killed a Gilda.
Yep.
And then we kind of got an idea of what Rex and Mother were. I mean, obviously not 100% of what they're up to, but like kind of a vibe.
Yeah, and really quick, because I just want to make sure I understood. So, inside of Gilda's house, was this secret compartment that led to this?
She had like a little basement, yeah, like a separate basement from. Whether or not she has a basement, who knows? But yeah, she had a separate room that was sort of like her, where she like kept all of her super mundane notes about her neighbors, but also is like she had a past life, and that's where she kept all of her stuff.
Okay, so we can safe to say she's 100% connected to this, and it's strange that she has this information, Gilda.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, she saw what was going on, was like, not great. You know,
I
like
think
whether.
No, what were we gonna say, Ben?
Did you
I was
have
gonna-
her ready to go, or were we gonna find that some other way? Like if I hadn't started checking on my neighbors.
No, that I just made that up as you guys went along.
So,
Yeah.
my question, the question that gets raised to me though,
Mm.
and I don't know if this is like my paranoid DM brain coming out, but it's like, why was this person next door neighbors with where Rev was being raised?
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's a good
Mhm.
question.
That's why I was wondering.
Is that something that you've thought of, Ben, or are you going to kind of figure that out as we go?
So, my methodology as a DM is that I make shit up and then I figure out how to make it work later. Very much the like beg for forgiveness, don't ask for permission mindset of just like I'll figure out a way to justify this without you guys being like that doesn't make any sense. But also like the way that I like to look at it from the sense of like a magical world is like I think a lot of the time, you know, the NPCs that you interact with are just that, right? They're commoners, they've got 10 HP, whatever. But if, you know, a city or plane of existence has been around for thousands of years, presumably there were other adventurers and heroes before you, and there will be other adventurers and heroes after
Never
you.
before, never again.
Sure.
I'm the only hero.
Yep, that's... Wow, if that's not Azad in a nutshell, I don't know what is.
I feel like you guys think that Azad is like really self-centered. She's not.
I'm just giving you shit.
She's anxious and she's a pain in the ass
a
and
worrier.
very type A.
She's
but like
your self-insert.
Thank you, Colonel Blah, for the cheers.
Well, thank you.
But I like to think, you know, like, yeah, maybe she's connected, or maybe she's like, maybe she just was the neighbor who happens to also have been a retired, you know, like thief or rogue or whatever, and
or
like
child snatcher.
Or child snatcher, you know.
Oh my god, that's who all those children were in the picture she had.
Oh no,
Dang.
it just got real dark.
Wow.
It's good that she died. We did the world.
We don't know that
You
yet.
don't know that. Maybe when you guys get back to Galtza, you'll be able to like read her obituary in a paper or something, and I'll have written something up. Or maybe not, because you guys have been gone for a bit.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I tend to just sort of make things up as you guys make decisions.
No.
Yeah, I know, right? Crazy. But it's like, okay, you want to investigate the houses? Sure. One of these should be more interesting than just you found a bunch of people tied up. It's like, who's the person that should be the interesting one? Your nosy neighbor, because she's a former adventurer. She's got nothing to do. She's got all this like time on her hands. Like, of course she's gonna be a little bit nosy. And she's a former like rogue, so she can be especially nosy, you know?
It's true.
There's probably some like very lewd notes in some of those things because she's just like peeping on neighbors and shit. Yeah.
Glad we didn't find those.
That would have been if somebody had rolled like a natural one, I'd been like,
you know, every neighbor's kink.
I was like, I'm just gonna pull up some smut on the internet and read it out loud.
Oh, you guys didn't see these ones. I kept them for me time.
Oh my god, you're a child! Just kidding. I'm gonna send him to Zeki and have him read them out loud in that voice.
In Porta's voice.
Oh my gosh, just
Do.
Patrick being like, Corn, it's your birthday. Here's some catalogs of copulation.
Jesus. You're in the double digits
Patrick
now, right?
definitely has like pornography in the catalog.
Oh
It's
yeah.
important.
Oh for
it's
sure.
a part of life.
Yeah, it's an important part.
For sure.
Yeah. So nothing lascivious was meant by it.
Yeah. You just...
So canon, it is Corner's birthday.
Yes.
That's a big deal to Al. That is
Yeah.
a big deal to Al. Okay, got it. Just got
That does happen while on the plane.
Yeah.
Got it.
There's a birthday celebration on the plane.
Yeah.
Al definitely forgot, and he's gonna feel really bad about it.
Oh
No.
What a plot point.
Why do I feel like Corna's the kind of person who walks around going, "It's my birthday"? I feel like he doesn't let anyone forget it.
I feel like maybe at first, but then it would just be like if people brought it up. Because I feel like then other people would just like make it a thing.
Oh my god.
I do. Zero said you've got to be 10 to have your pilot's license. So I mean,
It's
you know,
true.
it just.
Oh yeah, you definitely got like an honorary license when we landed from the pilot.
Oh my god, I got like one of those like junior pilot things. Like
They brought like the plastic wing and pinned it to your
We can't. We can't. It's too much. I'm sorry. I started it. I blame myself.
It's so cute though.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm looking so forward to it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
We gotta like someone's gonna go ahead and just clip the relevant stuff for Pat so we don't make him watch like 3 hours of content.
Oh
Or we
no,
just
Pat,
make
you're watching
the
all
rest
of it.
content. Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. Well, Pat's got to know who we are.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Also, you know what I'll
True.
do is next week I'll just sprinkle in periodically additional information about the flight where we'll like reference something.
That's how we like trick
it's
Pat
how we-
into
that's how we-
watching
that's how
all
we
of our
force
episodes.
Pat into watching the rest of the series.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Every episode will
God.
have something.
Yep. It's a threat and a promise.
Again, Pat. I'm so sorry. It was my fault. I was the one who tapped you. I did this to you. I admit it.
I was
It was
gonna
me.
volunteer myself, and then you're like, "Oh, Pat can do that." I'm like, "All right."
I was like,
No,
I like
Corna-
playing with
Corna
You
is
Pat.
have
an
to be
integral
in it.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, this
No.
is hey, this is not a Jesus take the wheel kind of moment.
Although what I will say is it could be funny if the whole thing is told by Corna as
From
like the
Corna's
narrator. He's
perspective.
telling like narrating
Yeah.
it back.
It
Oh
it
my
opens up with
God.
just like Corna
Let me tell
flying the
ya.
plane to
Corna's
crash
telling the
landing.
story to his grandkids, like,
Yeah.
You
Let
may
me
be
tell you
wondering
how
how
I
I got
am.
here.
Yeah.
record
shoot.
scratch, freeze frame. You're probably wondering how I got into the situation.
Wow. Amazing. I don't know that we can really do any better than that with this wrap up. So unless anyone's got anything to say, I think it's 11:15. Let's all get to bed at a reasonable hour.
The one thing that I will say is I don't know if we've like explicitly said this yet, but there are 2 more episodes until our season is over. But our season being over does not mean that these stories are over. It just means that in the way that like a TV show would take like a summer break and come back in the fall, we are going to wrap up this season, and then we're gonna have a couple months of Mitra 1 to 4 shots. So we already have June. Gup is going to be DMing it. It's going to be, oh God, what is the premise? Where does it take place, Ben? You are better at this than I am.
Hang on.
Takes
So
place in the
it
Golden
takes
Age.
place. I think
Pre-industrial, right?
Just ever so slightly pre-industrial. There are some new locations on the map. So y'all would not have been able to see this because the map is quite large, but not terribly far to the west of where the characters currently are. There's 2 new cities. One is Maepo, and the other is called something that I don't remember.
The other also has a name.
Bamshala, Rumspringer.
Please
Rum
go on.
tum tugger.
Please go on, Ben.
Mr. Mistopheles. The city Mistopheles. Never was there ever a city so clever.
Okay, the point is that we're gonna have.
Yes,
It's called.
yes,
Hang on.
yes,
It's called.
Cats,
Al-
cats,
Albala.
cats.
And there's gonna be some funky shit going on. It's gonna be great. Super excited to have folks come in and help us flesh out some of the world and some of the lore.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
And then July, we're also having another 4-episode run with Brunch, dealing with an island off the coast where all of the sort of like nocturnal, like lycanthropic, vampiric types live.
Yeah.
So, like,
Known externally as Isla Obscuri, and known by the denizens as the Isle of Night.
so we're gonna have 2 4 shots, and then August will be a couple of 1 and 2 shots before we come back with more of this.
It's gonna make you finish your water.
I
Ryan.
finished my water.
No,
I'm
Ryan's
here
got
to-
a 40. Ryan's got a 40 in.
Ryan, chug.
I'm just here to make him burn all the points.
Chug, Ryan, chug.
It's just less DM
Oh my
disadvantage
God.
later, Ben.
That's true. Thank you, Ryan. I
Are we doing
appreciate you.
DM disadvantage?
I don't know, still
We have
count.
to figure. Oh, good lord. We got to figure out how that's gonna translate. Maybe it'll
We
be
keep
like
saying that every week. We're
bonus.
like, we're gonna
I
figure that
keep
out.
forgetting to do that because there's
New
like,
action item for
work
Ben.
and life and.
I got a lot of points.
Ryan, are you
Uh,
out of water yet?
Mm-mm.
That's a big water
To be
bottle.
clear, it's also very cold.
Brain freeze, brain freeze.
Maybe I'll figure
Oh
out
my
what
God,
we do with channel
Rachel.
points while we're away. In
What
Ireland.
debauchery are you up to?
Oh no!
I have like 25k channel points.
Why are you?
And I
guys
can't
doing-
use
Oh my
them
God.
on the games.
Mm.
So I wanted to participate. I was doing it during the game
Oh
too.
boy.
I feel you. I got like 56.
You started it during the game.
Yeah,
Wow.
I always like to make sure that we stay hydrated. But this has gone too far. You're animals.
Chat is just redeems. You people. Oh God.
I love all of you so much. Thank you.
You guys are great. Thank you
Where
all
you at,
so much
Ryan?
for hanging out with us and giving Ryan a brain freeze.
Yep.
I'm almost there. I'm like
Be
there.
so hydrated.
This is good. For those of you who don't know my life, which is most of you, I first of all, I'm sitting in my own home, but for
Float to
once,
bed.
I am not in a hotel room. But I coach a high school ultimate frisbee team, and the States is this weekend, and it's gonna be very hot. So I did tell them they have to work on their hydration goals. So I can clip this whole bit and just send it to my kids.
You're like, see, I do it. It takes people on the internet redeeming fake points for me to do this, but
They're
I
real
do.
points. Don't call them fake points. That's fucked
They're
up, dude.
as real as any other points ever.
Points are
Right.
fake, dude.
Points are
I mean, that's
absolutely
fair. Points are
fake.
inherently fake.
Yes.
Points are pointless.
Look, they're
Almost down to this dice.
All right, everybody. That's
Okay.
us. That's the show. We hope
On
you
that
enjoyed it.
note,
I am gonna go to bed.
Yeah. Let's do
Me as
it.
well.
oh, don't worry. I've had that chalk with them. The
Really? Yeah.
electrolyte's not just water. Mhm.
Ooh.
Good night.
On that
Zero.
note,
Yeah.
Good night.
On the note
let's
of
go the fuck to sleep,
hydration.
everyone.
All
Good
right.
night, everybody.
We'll call it goodbye hydration.
Oh, before we go,
Oh.
Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our next recording of How the Fuck. We are going to be interviewing Anissa Garcia. She is my best friend from high school. She's a casting director. She works on big movies, most of the recent Marvel movies she's worked on, as well as some more interesting indie projects. Yeah, I know she did casting for like Black Panther, and yeah, she's awesome.
A badass.
So we're going to talk to her about casting and about what it's like and what sort of that piece of the behind the scenes in filmmaking looks like and how to get into it if you are interested.
And she acted too, right?
Yeah, she studied theater. Oh my God, Ryan finished! Yay!
Wow.
She
We
was
can go to bed now.
You have to pee so bad.
She was an NYU theater major, but she didn't do acting after college. She went straight into casting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll talk more about that on Thursday, everybody.
Yeah.
So be sure to join us. And use your redeems then too. We'll just drink water the entire interview. It'll be great.
Make
It'll
us
be
all
awesome.
hydrated.
Yeah. See y'all Thursday.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks for hanging out.